Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Sane, and again, I want to apologize for not being able to post a lot of videos recently. I just haven't had the ideas. Literally, I just haven't had the ideas of what I want to post and what I want to do with my YouTube channel. I've been focusing a lot more on my Twitch. If you're not following my Twitch yet, please go follow my Twitch. I'm twitch.tv/SaneAaron. I'm close to getting affiliate. I'd really love some support on that. That's my main channel platform right now I'm using, but I do want to put some YouTube videos out when I can, and I had some ideas today. And I have an idea of something I might kind of do, like a little trend, a little weekly trend I might do, kind of like a gun of the week or character of the week type thing. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. It might be a fun idea. Just when I'm like playing pubs and stuff. Even some in ranked, if I'm playing like lower tier ranks or even some high tier ranks, if I'm playing good characters, I can do stuff like that. Put more on the YouTube channel, but yeah. Anyways, for today's video, I got the idea of doing, like what I said, like a gun of the week. And today I've been playtesting a lot with the L-Star. And just like, I've thought about the L-Star. This gun has the time to kill. Absolutely has the time to kill. This thing can absolutely melt people. And I was shooting it, and I just like, sometimes when I'm shooting a gun, I'll take my finger off the analog stick and just shoot it just to see the recoil. And I was shooting it, and I was like, wait a minute. Right here. See right there, it goes straight up. And that's the easiest recoil pattern to control. When guns just shoot straight up like the R99 and the Volt, it's really easy to control because all you have to do is hold down. So then I was shooting the L-Star some more and I was looking at the recoil pattern. And I used to think it was very random. Like I didn't really like this gun was always just kind of like not there. I always thought the recoil pattern was very random. And now I looked at it. It goes diagonal to the left, real quick, and then swerves back to the center and then goes straight up. So left, center, up. And the left and center is pretty quick. Like it's pretty quick of kind of holding right, then left, and then back to center. So just, and you see I'm able to hold it. I mean it's pretty strong up, so you really have to hold it down. But after that first initial few bullets, it's really lasering. Like it's really easy to laser somebody. So what I've been doing is I've been going through and I played about 5 games today, not back to back, using the L-Star each time, feeling the gun out, what trying out different sights on it, trying out different loadouts, like whatever secondary I'd put on it to kind of get an idea of what its strength is and how it should be used the best. And I'm just gonna talk about it a little bit. So the L-Star eats through ammo probably more than any other gun. Like even like the charge rifle and the R99, like those are notorious for just eating through ammo. The L-Star will just absolutely eat through your ammo because it never reloads. So you're just gonna be constantly spraying this thing. You're gonna be missing a lot of bullets too, because to use this thing effectively, you want to hip fire it up close. Since you're an LMG, you really don't have good ADS walking speed, so you're standing still a lot. So when you're up close, you're gonna want to be hip firing this thing, crouch spamming it. It's not the most accurate thing, so you're gonna be missing a lot of bullets. So this thing will absolutely tear through your ammo supply. But again, it does have a really good time to kill, and even its overheat reload time is pretty fast. So I've noticed it's pretty usable up close. Just kind of get in their face, control the recoil as best as you can, crouch spam it so you're unhittable. Or you can just do this and not worry about moving at all and just hold a gun shield out with Gibby. I tried the L-Star with Gibby for 1 game and I already understood that this gun on this character just works out very well. Say Gibby is probably the best user of the L-Star other than Rampart. Caustic's also very good with it just because, I don't know, Fortify, just having more HP always helps, but the gun definitely has a time to kill. And since it has such easy to control recoil later on, I figured it's actually not that bad at mid-range. I found myself usually running like a 2 times or a 3 times on it at first. Near the end, the last 2 games, I kind of understood. I found something else out that I'll talk about in a second about the sights, but I would run it 2 times and 3 times on it the most. At first I started with 1 times, and I was like, I noticed myself using it at mid range more just because the recoil is so good. So I put a longer range sight on it and just beam people from a distance. That's pretty easy to control recoil actually if you just sit in firing range for a second, learn it. And I mean, like this is my first day of ever really using this gun, and I was already lasering people with it. I'm already lasering, even just in firing range. And the one huge downside to the gun, which is like my main complaint with it, besides the LMG handling speeds, is the fact that the projectiles are just so big and so bright. That I noticed that when I wasn't shooting somebody like Caustic or Gibby, someone really big, I would end up losing their character model, especially if it was somebody, like Lifeline or Wraith. I couldn't see them anymore as I was shooting them, and I was still able to hit my shots, like I was still able to align things, but I literally lost them in my bullets, and I noticed I was missing a lot of shots just because I couldn't align it on them because I couldn't see where they were. Well, Gibby and Caustic was pretty easy, so. But that's definitely something noteworthy about the gun, is that the projectiles are just so bright and so hard to see through that losing your enemy in a fight is awful. Like that's one of the worst things I've ever heard of for a character. Or not for a character, for like a gun. Like it's just not being able to see them while you're shooting at them. That's pretty bad. So you definitely want a good sight on it. Other than a 2 times and a 3 times, I noticed that using the round sights, which is like all the hollows, the 1 times hollow, 1 and 2 hollow, and the 2 to 4 variable. With a circle, when you shoot it, the projectiles are about the same size as the circle. Notice how the projectiles pretty much take up the entire circle, but it's a lot easier for me to aim. Like I obviously have to track with this gun when you're shooting it, and I found it just so much easier to use this circle, and I would just put this circle over their character model, and I just was able to laser a lot more than just using the dot sights, I guess, like the 1 times classic. Like this might be more of a personal thing, but I definitely recommend it if you like the L-Star, you want to try the L-Star. Put one of the circle sights on there, because literally the circle reticle just helps you place it. 1 to 2 times is another great example there. And then the 2 to 4 times, I tried this a couple of times with like a Mastiff or something up close, and I really actually like this. I feel like I was lasering people with it from mid range. Long range probably shouldn't use this gun, but it could work. It works close range, just hip fire. And in mid range, you ADS with the long range sight and just beam them down. Also does so much damage if you hit headshots. So 36 to the head, 18 to the body, like it's crazy. This thing can actually melt people. But it is a little tricky to control at first. Like the first burst of it is very tricky to control. So first few bullets you might be missing your opponent, but later on you're able to laser, which is it's pretty nice. Now I'm gonna talk about the best secondaries for the gun. What to use this gun with? What loadout should you run the L-Star with? I think L-Star is definitely a primary gun. In some situations, you can use it as a secondary for something like a Volt. Like I've picked up an L-Star at the end of the game. If I had a care package weapon, like a Kraber that ran out of ammo, I would drop it, and I would grab an L-Star and use that as my secondary, and just kind of pull it out real quick to finish people off. That's kind of a more niche use for it. Just like, instead of reloading my Volt, just pull out the L-Star and start spraying bullets at them. But the gun is definitely designed to be a primary gun. And the best secondaries I found for it was always using something like a Mastiff, as long as I'm feeling comfortable with the range combat with it, mid-range combat with a good sight on it. I'd use this for the mid-range encounters, and as soon as somebody gets super close to me, switch over to the Mastiff, pump them down, maybe start with the Mastiff and then have the L-Star to hip fire them down at the end. Combo worked out really well. I like this a lot. This is probably my go-to combo. The other secondary I used with it was a Wingman. I thought the Wingman was just a nice touch to kind of be versatile also. I always use my Wingman as like Skull Piercer, but Quick Draw is fine too, just as another quick kind of finisher gun basically, in case you're shooting the L-Star, it overheats or something, you pull the Wingman out and just finish them off. Or you can use the Wingman for your mid-range encounters if you're not feeling like you're gonna be able to just like laser them. Like if they're kind of peeking in and out of cover, just use the Wingman instead. So if you're using the L-Star, I would recommend one of these two. You can also run with like a triple take if you wanted. If you feel very comfortable with the L-Star up close, you could totally use it with like something like a triple take or a sniper. I would always recommend it's triple take. It's just the best sniper right now. You could totally do something like this. Just as long as you understand that if you do this, you do not have good ADS mobility at all. So you have to be careful with that. But if you're playing someone like Gibby, you know, you're totally fine. You don't have to worry about it because you have your gun shield. It's gonna help you out there. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the L-Star. It's I used to put it as like a mid-tier gun. Like, don't waste your time with it. I still don't think it's a great gun. It's definitely not like one of the best in the game, but you know, it's pretty usable. If you really like it and you want to give it a shot, go for it. It's got a very good time to kill. Learn the controller recoil. It's not an awful gun. I put it kind of I like to think of it as if you don't have a turbocharger, I think the L-Star is better than Devo for sure. Maybe a little bit better than the Havoc. Havoc's kind of a iffy one. Havoc without turbocharger still again does good damage, but you have to like the slow startup. So the L-Star might be a little bit better than that. But as soon as you get a turbocharger on the Havoc or the Devotion, they just outshine the L-Star. And the Volt is just straight up better than like all three of them. So yeah, I think without turbocharger, the L-Star is the second best LMG or energy gun, but with turbocharger, it is the worst. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the L-Star. Pretty fun gun to use sometimes. You know, it's a very unique gun. I had a lot of fun with it. So if you think about using it, go for it. If you don't really want to use it, you're not missing out. I'll tell you that much. You're really not missing out too hard. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the L-Star. I've said that 3 times now. That's my thoughts on the L-Star. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you like this kind of idea of doing like gun of the week, where I take one gun and I use it a lot, or one character and I use it a lot, and give my honest opinions on how to best use it, how worth it is it, you know, things like that. I think the L-Star was a perfect starter for this, as it's kind of a gun in the background. No one really uses it that much. It's kind of just one that people avoid. But yeah, now I think I was able to find some good uses for it. You might see me using it a little bit more now. You know, maybe if I'm looking for a Volt, I'll just carry an L-Star. But I usually just carry a Havoc for the energy mag attachment. But who knows? We'll see if I end up using the L-Star a little bit. Probably not, but yeah, probably not. I probably won't be using this thing much. But hey, it's fun every once in a while. So there you go. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for tuning in. Stay frosty, I guess. I don't know. I need a better outro.